to stop what you're doing and listen.
Hello and welcome to episode 35. I am MOSH, and I really don't have much to say at the beginning here, so let's just get right into it. Your free PlayStation Plus games for the month of September in the year 2019. Don Batman's cowl and stalk the rooftops of Arkham City, or unleash your inner fury in the savage third chapter of the Darksiders series in your next batch of PlayStation Plus monthly games available to download from September 3rd. Batman Arkham Knight. Descend into the besieged streets of Arkham City as DC's most iconic crime-fighting crusader in Rocksteady's neo-noir action-adventure and explosive finale to the Arkham series. Pull on the legendary Black Cowl and explore the vast neon metropolis, grappling up walls and vaulting across rooftops, gliding between buildings, or tearing through the streets in the super-powered Batmobile. Go up against some of the Caped Crusader's most iconic enemies, including Scarecrow, Harley Quinn, Killer Croc, and more, using brutal hand-to-hand combat and an array of gadgets to liberate the overrun city once and for all. Are you ready to become the Batman? Darksiders 3. A visceral hack-and-slash action-adventure, Darksiders 3 places you in a dark fantasy world filled with diverse environments, dangerous foes, hidden secrets, and weapons and abilities to unlock. Take on the role of Fury, the most unpredictable and enigmatic of the four horsemen, as she returns to the scorched earth to hunt down and destroy the 7 deadly sins. Track down each of the 7 deadly sins, slay their minions, and restore the balance between good and evil on Earth. Let the apocalypse begin. Whoa. And those will be free starting September 3rd. Next up is Resident Evil. So there's a teaser going around called Project Resistance. When I saw the word Resistance, I got excited because I was thinking of my other game, but this is Capcom. It is Resident Evil related. It's going to be revealed on September 9th at the Tokyo Game Show, and we think it's a multiplayer game. Some people think it's like one of the 1v4 type multiplayer games where like one person's, I guess, a zombie or infected thing, and the other 4 are like survivor human people. Some people think it could be Resident Evil Outbreak again. We're not really sure. It's just codename Project Resistance, so we'll see in a few days what it actually is. I don't think it's Resident Evil 8, though. I really don't think that's what it is. I think it's something different. But keep it on with the zombies type theme. We got to see new gameplay from Dying Light 2. So the demo that they were showing to special people at E3, you know, like people have a bunch of subscribers and followers, you know, those special people. Well, they released it to the public. So I'll put a link in the description if you want to watch it. I think it's 26 minutes long or something. And it's actually pretty good. I had never played Dying Light 1. I was never interested in Dying Light 1 because I'm not interested in zombies. They're completely overdone and they need a break. But this gameplay demo, it was intriguing. It was interesting. And a huge shout out to the designers, level designers, whatever your title is. Shout out to you. Because just the way that world looks and the details. Like there was a point where the guy was like, he was talking about a castle. And I was like, okay, that's probably just a code word for some important building. So they drive there and it's actually a castle. Well, it's like a modern day castle. It's a building that they had turned into a castle because I guess part of the city's flooded. So they have like a moat going around it and then they have a drawbridge. But again, just the design and the details in it. And then once they actually go in, like that front, what you call it, like a courtyard, there's like a playground with kids and just like all the little details. Again, it's so good. And then he goes in the vents and there's spider webs and like clumps of dust. And like that stuff really makes a difference because in so many games, you'll go into the vents and they'll be pristine. It's like, really? There's no way your vents are that clean. Yeah, the game looks good. Parkour looked good. It looks good. I don't got much more to say about that. Next up, we have Cyberpunk 2077. They also released gameplay of this from E3, which the special people got to see again. This is shorter though. I believe the gameplay people got to see was like 45 to 50 minutes long. This was like 15. And they said that they removed spoilers, so that's why it's cut down a little bit more. It just kind of goes into a little bit more detail about the world, some of the gangs, some of the play styles that you can play through. There's strong solo, which is like if you want to be aggressive, get in people's face, and just be strong. I mean, it's in the name. And then they also showed Netrunner, which is the more stealthy, if you want to hack stuff type of play style. And I kind of like how you can choose multiple ways of playing the game because that leads to multiple playthroughs. Because a lot of time with single player games, it's like you beat it and it's just like, okay. But with this game, you know, you can play through it, be really aggressive. Okay, that was cool. Play through it again and try to do it more stealthy or just whatever the other play styles may be. But yeah, nothing too different here. Like nothing we really haven't seen before yet, but still exciting nonetheless. I do want to mention something that is just ridiculous. There are people, okay, so CD Projekt Red said that they are removing like genders in this game. Like you're not male or female. Like there's just nothing. You make the character you want to make and you assign it in your head whatever gender you want it to be. So people are having hissy fits over this because of course they are. There are guys who are like, well, then how do I make a male character? Really? Really? Are you that stupid? I'm going to make a video on this and I'm going to upload it on Wednesday. Okay? And I just want to make it clear that this video is not directed towards any of my viewers or subscribers. This is going to be directed towards those people who are missing a few brain cells because the stupidity is just, it's next level. It really is. When you create your character, you're given two body options, a male body option and a female. So basically, if you want to be a male, you should choose the male body. And then when you go to choose a voice, choose the one that sounds like a dude. And then voila, you have a male character. I mean, I know it's difficult to understand this stuff, but so yeah, if you see that video I'm going to put up, don't take it seriously or don't get offended. Actually, if you do get offended, then you're probably one of the stupid people. So you know what? Good, get offended. Anyway, enough of that. Guitar Hero might be coming back. So Activision filed a patent and it shows a guitar controller and it's for a music video game. So I don't know what else it could be. Is it gonna bomb? Yeah. I mean, look at Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5. Yikes. Also, Tony Hawk Pro Skater franchise turned 20 years old recently. So that's cool. Anyway, it was another Activision game. So that's why I mentioned it. But will Guitar Hero come back in, you know, in all its glory? Doubt it. But good luck. If you want to play an actual music game, play Rocksmith because you actually learn how to play guitar while playing a video game. It's a little bit more difficult, but hey, you're killing two birds with one stone. The new Grand Prix is now live in Crash Team Racing, and it features Spyro the Dragon. So Spyro, Hunter, and Nasty Nork are now in the game. And it's similar to previous Grand Prix. You get new characters, new skins, carts, wheels, paint, stickers, decals, all that stuff. They also added in a track dedicated to Spyro, and it's really good. You feel like you're actually in a Spyro video game. So the Wumpa Fruit is turned into gems, the crates are turned into chests, and the Aku Aku mask is Sparks the Dragonfly. I think his name is Sparks. It's been a long time since I played Spyro. I'm pretty sure his name was Sparks. But yeah, it looks and feels like a Spyro level. Like they did a really, really good job on that. So that is the new Grand Prix. And just like the previous ones, if you finish in the top 5% at the end of it, you get a new decal for the championship cart. And if you don't already have the championship cart, you get that as well. And the Grand Prix are free, 100% free. You just got to get on and play. And if you don't unlock everything in the Grand Prix, they will go to the pit stop at a later date. So you will still have a chance at unlocking it. You'll just have to get it with Wumpa coins instead. So you can't really miss anything, which is nice. And last but not least, for gaming this week, I don't know if this has been known for a while or if I'm just now finding out about it, but it seems as if Destiny 2 is going to have a battle pass, or they're calling it a season pass, but it's basically a battle pass. Because when you say season pass, it kind of sounds like something Call of Duty does where you get all the DLC, so it's not like that. It's a battle pass being called a season pass. But it's just like Fortnite's. There's a free version and there's a paid version. So with the free version, you get some stuff every few tiers. And with the paid version, you get something every single tier as well as the free tiers. It does work with cross save. So if you go back and forth between platforms, the progress still, transfers as well. And it changes each season because they introduce seasons with the Forsaken DLC. So if you buy Shadowkeep, and this starts with the new expansion. So if you buy Shadowkeep, you automatically get this first season because they're bundled together. Or you can just straight up buy the season and not buy Shadowkeep. But it's probably best to buy Shadowkeep because you get that expansion and the season. So you get more content. And if you buy the seasons, like going forward in the future, as well as this one, but again, it's bundled with Shadowkeep. So if you have access to the seasons, you get more stuff as well. You get access to more like events and just, you get more if you buy it, okay? If you spend money, you get more. That's what I'm getting at here. And that's just another game with a battle pass in it that I just so happened to play, or that I'm gonna start playing again. I hope it's easy to unlock stuff though, because I don't want it to feel like a grind, because that's just such an easy way to burn yourself out on a game, is if you're playing it just to unlock stuff and not playing it because you want to play it. So hopefully it's easy. Hopefully it's not too much of a hassle. But yeah, on to music. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm going to start this off with Ice 9 Kills. So we mentioned them last week with the whole music video speculation thing. Well, they announced a deluxe edition of the album that they released last year, Silver Scream, which if you have not listened to, listen to it. It's 10 out of 10. It's really, really, really good. Each song is based on a different horror movie. Some of them aren't really horror movies in my opinion, but whatever. That's what they describe it as. Anyway, they're releasing a deluxe edition on October 25th of all days. And it's going to include a new song and a cover of Thriller by Michael Jackson. And the new song is going to be about Scream or Ghostface. It's going to be good. And the reason why it's going to be good is because the vocalist, Spencer, has said that Scream is his favorite horror franchise. So I'm sure he put a lot of effort and love into the song and would not be releasing it if it wasn't perfect. It's probably going to be good. As far as the cover of Thriller, I don't know if it's going to be acoustic or not because they did a cover of this for a radio station, which you can hear on YouTube, and they did it acoustically. But most radio performances are acoustic because, you don't want to bring all your equipment in and then play one song and then, that's just too much work. Just bring in an acoustic guitar and get it done. So that's why I don't know if it's going to be acoustic cover or not. Or maybe they'll have both. Maybe we'll have two versions. But the one thing is, since this album was based on horror movies, I'm wondering if the next album won't. Because if it was, then wouldn't they hold on to the Scream song for the next album? Makes you think. But this is a Fearless Records band. And this is a Fearless Records thing to do. They do this all the time. A year after an album releases, they do a deluxe edition of bonus tracks. It's their thing. So the next album could be movies again, might not. Because the album previous to this one was about books. So they went from books to movies, and then who knows what's next. Also, if their next album is titled Tales from the Script, that was my idea. And I have the proof on Twitter to prove it. I have the proof to prove it. Next up is Tool. I got to talk about it. New album's out. It happened. It actually happened. 13-year wait has ended. Fear Inoculum by Tool, August 30th, 2019. I'm not doing a review on this because that's a lion's den I don't want to walk into. That's straight suicide. I can't deal with Tool fans, like in terms of arguments or any of that. That's completely out of my league. Their fans are rowdy, and I mean all that in a good way. Like, Tool fans could absolutely school me in anything relating to the band. I'm not nearly as knowledgeable about Tool as they are, so I would actually feel uncomfortable doing a review of this album. I will give some quick thoughts on it, though. I don't really care for it, to be honest. I thought it was kind of boring. It's a little slow. I wish they'd kick it up a notch, a little bit more energy, more up tempo. All the main, like, real songs on here are over 10 minutes long. The only ones that aren't are the interludes. And when it comes to songs that are 10 minutes long or longer, you really need to hold my attention. And these songs just don't. And it's not a knock on the band. Like, you can tell a lot of thought went into these songs, and they're very well crafted and well composed. I also think this is an album you have to listen to while you're on drugs. It'll probably make more sense. That's another thing about Tool is I feel like their music is kind of like a painting. Like if a painting was transformed into music, it would be Tool. Some people get it, some people don't get it. And that's just my best example that I have for this band. Like you get them or you don't. There's really no in between. But that's all just my opinion, all right? I'm happy that the band got the album out. I really, truly, truly hope that Tool fans like this album. Like I really do. There's no worse feeling than waiting 13 years for something and it sucks. So I hope everyone loves it. I've been reading comments on some of the videos and people seem to really enjoy it. So that's cool. But we're about to go from something cool to maybe something not so cool. Wage War released their new album, Pressure, on August 30th. Wage War is an American metalcore band from Ocala, Florida, formed in 2010 under the name Empires, signed to Fearless Records. The band is vocalist Britton Bond, rhythm guitarist and clean vocalist Cody Quistad, lead guitarist Seth Blake, bassist Chris Gaylord, and drummer Steven Klusiner. Now, right off the bat, I want to say that I am a fan of this band. I really enjoy their first two albums. This is their third album. And I just want to get that out of the way right now. So I'm going to talk about the lyrics a lot during this review. I'm really not going to talk much about the instrumentation. So again, just to get it out of the way, it's pretty much typical Wage War and it's not really much to mention. Let's get into the songs and these lyrics. So a few podcast episodes ago, when they released Prison as a single, I said I didn't care for the song because of the lyrics. And I said, I hope this isn't a reoccurring thing. Well, it's a reoccurring theme. That's really this album's downfall. I don't know which member of this band writes the lyrics, but they need to step their game up because this doesn't fly. To me, the lyrics come off as being fake or just not genuine and also cheesy. So in that song Prison, he says, I'm trapped in my skin. This is my prison. In the song Grave, the chorus is just, you will never change. You will never change. You will never change. You'll take it to your grave. You will never change. You will never change. You will never change. You'll take it to your grave, which is a super lazy chorus. Like that's really the best you could think of. The lyrics sound like a freshman in high school wrote them in their notebook. Just scribbled them in their notebook because they're mad at the world. No one understands me. People judge me. I'm an outsider. Yeah, the reason you think all those things is because you don't talk to anyone. You don't introduce yourself to any of these people. They don't even know who you are, and you don't make an effort to let them get to know you. But yet you think you're an outsider and people judge you. They don't care. These lyrics were written for the listeners and not for the artists. And in my opinion, that's not how it should be done. You should always write for yourself. Like, who is the you that they mention in these songs? Who are they talking about? They're not talking about anyone. The you that they're talking about does not exist. It's not a real person. What the band wants you to do is they want you to fill in that blank. And again, to me, that's not genuine because the you is not a real person. This anger, whatever they have, is not real. Like, just write from your heart, and if the listeners can connect with that song, then cool. If not, then that's okay. People can still like the song. There are plenty of songs I listen to where I don't connect with the lyrics, but the song's still good. Take notes from Corey Taylor. When he writes lyrics and he talks about you in a song, that's directed towards a very specific person. He's not going to tell you who the person is, but that is definitely anger towards a real person. Wage War doesn't do that. And then in the song Low, you don't know Low like I do. Do you know Low, though? What has this band been through? Because I haven't really heard much. Do they battle with severe depression, Have they contemplated suicide, bad addictions, hit rock bottom, horrible childhood? Yeah, I don't think so. Fake lyrics. The lyrics are fake. If you break up with someone, cool. Write one song about it and then move on. Did you overcome something? Cool. Write one song about it and move on. You don't have to drag it on for an entire album. You don't need 7 songs about the same subject. Have some diversity. If you have to write 7 songs about moving on from something, have you really moved on? Also, your band name is Wage War. Okay? The perfect name for a thrash metal band. Also, the sound on this album and your band name don't make sense together. Here's some lyrics from the song The Line. We're perfect on the outside, broken on the inside, but you don't know, 'cause we don't show. The skeletons that we hide, misery in our eyes, but you don't know, 'cause we don't show. Apparently, the song was co-written by some dude who I forgot his name, but I guess he has helped write songs for acts such as Britney Spears, Demi Lovato, 5 Seconds of Summer. Yeah, I don't know if I want a guy like that helping me write songs for a band called Wage War. Red flag. I want to hear some experimentation because this is like super generic song structures. Experiment. That doesn't mean do more of what you've been doing since day one, which is singing. More singing doesn't mean experimentation. Add a choir, add an orchestra, add a piano, add any other instruments, do different song structures, do different time signatures. Actually sit down and compose a song. Step out of the comfort zone. You can't grow by staying and doing what you're comfortable with. Explore a little bit. Intro, verse, chorus, breakdown, chorus, chorus. We get it. Are you a one-trick pony at this point? Like, come on. I feel like this album's a fall from grace. Again, the first 2 albums are really good. Really enjoyed them. But something has to change, especially with the lyrics. I don't know what I expected because they're from Florida, and you shouldn't expect much from Florida. Trivium is, and probably always will be, the best band from Florida. I'm also not a fan of Who I Am being the very first song on the album. It should be like 3rd or 4th. I think Low would have been a better opener. I do like how Who I Am leads into Prison, though. That was cool. Also, Prison has a nice bleh in it, so I'll give that song that. I'm not giving this album a score because I don't know what to give it. I really don't. Like, this album's not terrible, but it's not even close to the first 2. Hopefully this is just a speed bump, though. Sometimes bands do this. They'll release one album that's just like a head scratcher. People are like, what are you doing? So maybe this will be one of those moments, and their next album will be, quality effort. And maybe not having Jeremy McKinnon as a producer hurt. The vocalist of A Day to Remember, he produced the first 2 albums, but he did not produce this one because he's busy with his band at the moment. And it looks like Drew Folk is the producer on this album, and he's been a part of some good stuff. Like, he's helped produce quality stuff. This, on the other hand, not so much. And who knows, maybe the record label stepped in. I mean, Fearless Records. The general consensus right now is that Low, Who I Am, Ghost, and Fury are the best songs, and I would agree with that. I also like Take the Fight because the melody in that chorus is nice. But yeah, those are just my thoughts on this album. It just sounds a lot like high school stuff, and that's not what I want to hear. A lot of these songs just sound like they're trying to tap into that teenage girl fan base, And if that's the case, first off, FBI, open up. And second, it was nice knowing you guys. But again, hopefully it's a speed bump and we can continue liking this band when the 4th album comes out. But we'll see. We'll see in 2 years. I'll put links to the album below if you want to listen to it. And that's it. Those are my thoughts on Pressure by Wage War. Weekly pick time. My weekly pick this week is the new album by Tool. And you're probably like, but you said you didn't like it. Why are you recommending it? I'm recommending it because it's important. Me not liking it is completely meaningless. This is a popular band with a huge fan base that they should not even really have because Tool's music is not easily accessible. They released an EP in 1992 and their first album in 1993. So since 92, if we're counting the EP, they've released the 1 EP and 5 albums in the last 27 years. That's it. Yet they still have such loyal fans and a ton of success. They're an important band. So clearly they're doing something right. Like their music is tapping into the minds of certain people. And just because I don't care for the album doesn't mean you won't care for it. But you should listen to it from front to back. Like don't put it on shuffle, just first song to the last song. Listen to it in order. And now on to my weird pick, which I just realized is from July. So I don't know if this is still a thing or not. Might be outdated, but whatever. Still going with it. West Palm Beach, Florida. Officials in West Palm Beach are hoping a continuous loop of children's songs played throughout the night will keep homeless people from sleeping on the patio of a city-owned rental banquet facility. West Palm Beach Parks and Recreation Director Leah Rockwell tells the Palm Beach Post, they're trying to discourage people from sleeping outside the glass-walled waterfront lake pavilion, which she says rakes in some $240,000 annually from events. The loop of Baby Shark and Raining Tacos is a temporary fix to keep homeless people off of the patio. Rockwell says the city wants to formalize hours for the facility, which should make trespassing laws easier to enforce. Here's an idea. Instead of driving homeless people away, maybe, just maybe, you should help them, maybe direct them towards a shelter or just anything in general that you could possibly think you could help them with. They are humans too. They should be treated like humans. A lot of homeless people are military veterans who had the guts to even join the military while the rest of us did not, knowing very well that they could possibly die, and they come back home and they have nothing. Is that fair? I don't think so, but you can't even help them. But again, it's Florida, so what do you really expect? Just because people are homeless doesn't mean they're worthless. It doesn't mean they don't deserve an opportunity. There's a lot of people that can turn their lives around if given the chance. Maybe the world would be better if we actually helped each other instead of constantly tearing each other down. But, that's just a crazy theory. Anyway, that's going to do it for me this week. So thank you for listening. Thanks for hanging out. I have links in the description, and I'll catch you next week. Later.